it's time for the New Year's Eve celebration. New Year's Eve celebration. Let me get it right. That dude's fired, man. That dude's fired. New Year's Eve celebration. Right out the gate, we're going to stumble. That's all right. Man. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve to you if you're on the East Coast. And that's where I be. South Carolina. First ones to cross into the new year here in the United States. Yeah, man. Man. Trying to get it together, man. I've had a rough week, to say the least. I'm telling you. Oh, my God. So I was on vacation last week, all right? And, looking forward to being off, looking forward to going out of town, man, to spend time with my wife was in Somerville, where my stepdaughter lives, and her fiance and their brand new little baby Maverick. And so I was really looking forward to vacation this year, and to go down there and spend with them and enjoy in the new addition to the family, you know. So, oh man, let's see, where do I start? Let's see. Man. Hey, Mr. Fair, what's going on? Ted Fair in the chat. Yeah, man, that's what I'm getting to right now. Yeah. I really thought about doing this. I'm like, dude, do I need to do this tonight, man? It don't matter because vacation's over, and I actually went to work today, but I'll get into that in a minute. And so let's see. Not this past Thursday, but Thursday before, that was my last night of the work week. Well, I get a message from management saying, hey, you don't have a load tonight. You go ahead and start your vacation early. Okay, cool, man. I was looking forward to that, right? So, like I said, my wife was already down where her daughter is down in Somerville. She had been down there for a couple of weeks already, helping with the baby and everything. So I take off Friday to head down there instead of Saturday, since I didn't work Thursday night. So I took off Friday, got down there about I don't know, man, about 7:30 that night, and everything was cool, man. Everything was great. Got there and got to see the baby and everything, and we had dinner. Let's see, my future son-in-law made steaks on the grill and other things, potatoes and all the good stuff. It was great. So we went to bed about, 10:30, something like that. So the next morning, get up about 8, and then about 8:20, everything just really went downhill. Ended up getting really sick. I won't go into all the detail of that, but then I got a really, really, really bad fever. Man, it was crazy. And just so to sum it up, my whole Christmas was I was kind of robbed from it, man. I was really, the virus or flu, whatever it was. It wasn't COVID. But whatever it is I had, they say that South Carolina is the leading state for the flu and other things, I guess, and other things. What other things? I guess just the flu. I don't know what else, but they say South Carolina is a leading state, and right now with all that, and boy, I'm telling you, whatever it is going around, I caught it. I don't know where I got it from, but I was bedridden for 3 days down there. And so I couldn't really partake in the festivities. I was really scared because I didn't want to get around the baby. I didn't want the baby to be sick. The baby was only 2 weeks old. I didn't want to, don't want to endanger the baby at all. So I just kind of quarantined myself off in the spare bedroom. And, man, I just felt so horrible. I couldn't even get out of bed. It was just awful, man. It was the worst Christmas I ever had in my life, man, to tell you the honest truth. And so then we get, we decide to go ahead and, a couple of days later, I just stayed in the bedroom, right? And then we come back. Then my wife caught it. So I was like, we got to get out of here. I don't want to put this baby in jeopardy. So that next, let's see, it was the day after Christmas. That next morning we left, and it rained and it rained and it rained. And it's only 3.5 hours from here, but man, that was the longest 3.5 hour drive of my life. There's nothing worse than being, you're not feeling good, you're sick, and you're out of town or whatever, and it's just hard. It just makes it hard. But we did what we could, health wise and all. You can only do so much. But we got back, but nobody else fell ill. Thank God. The baby's fine. That's the main thing. So we got here and just kind of, rested up the rest of the week and everything, and then come today, which is Sunday. My week starts on Sunday for my job, and so I get ready and everything, and I go to head to work, and Sunday I go in maybe an hour or so early, So I get in there, and there's nobody there on Sunday, by the way, just people like me that work this the night shift or whatever. And I get there, and I get into the tractor, and the tractor's filthy. Whoever drove it last week, and it's on fumes. They didn't fuel it up. It's just the typical stuff you deal with lazy drivers that haven't been working there long, And so I'm getting everything together, and then I get over to the dairy to get my load to go to the beach tonight, and I get to the guard check, and they look at me like, "What are you doing here?" I said, "What do you mean, what am I doing here? Got to take a load to the beach." They said, "We don't have no Myrtle Beach today." I was like, "No Myrtle Beach today?" I was like, "No, So I turned around and came back home. Nobody called me. Nobody called me to tell me that there was no load going down there tonight. Nothing. If they would have let me know, I could have saved the gas and the time and the trouble, and saved 2 hours of my life, and just stayed here. But so I thought to myself, well, you know what, man, you're not working tonight. You need to stay up a little late. So let's try to do a live stream and ring in the new year, I guess. So we're giving this a shot, and haven't done a live stream in a while. Let's see. I think the last live show we did was Talking Guitars and More with the German Butcher and Larry Riker, and I don't think my son was on that one. I think he missed it. And I can't remember if Andrew was on it either. I can't remember. That's more than a few days ago, so I can't remember. But that was the last live thing I done on this channel, and then I was, like I said, looking forward to vacation, and then everything just hit the fan, and whatever it is I caught, it got a hold of me really good and tore me up. But we're on the downhill side of that now. It's just going to take a little time, and it seems like the older you get, man, the harder it is to shake stuff off, man. But look, I'm sitting here pissing and moaning about it. Yeah, it was messed up, but there's a lot more people that's worse off than me. A lot of young people, man, they're in the hospital for Christmas, and they couldn't be at home. So I shouldn't really complain too awful much, but it just sucks, man, when you're looking forward to being on vacation and Christmas and all that, and then it just gets kind of ruined from Mother Nature or whatever messing with you. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. But anyway, so this year 2023 is about up. We got I do have a live countdown clock here that I found online. Let's see if I can share screen, and we will look at that together. Let me see here if I can. Oh man, let's see if it'll let me do it. There we go. So we got 50 minutes and 39 seconds until the new year. How about that? Man, do I have any resolutions, New Year resolutions? No, I don't. I do not. I do not have any kind of resolutions at all. I just my big thing is I just want to be able to have my health and my job and my family and all that. That's it. I don't know. Does anybody even really adhere to those resolutions? I never did. I never really did that, man. Not really. Never really done that. Well, this year I'm going to do such and such. I'm not going to mess with that stuff because it don't never happen anyway, But this year has been pretty good, man. I can't really complain. It's been a pretty good year. Went by quick. I know that. What's one of the first videos I put out this year? Let's see. I went back on my channel and looked. It was about. Let's see. I was upgrading. It's not the very first video I put out, but it was up there. It was like one of the first vlogs I put out. There was a couple of like music videos I put out where I'm covering a song or whatever, and that. But as far as an actual vlog, I think that came out on the 13th of this year, January. Let's see if I can pull that up. It gets a lot of well, I don't want to say a gazillion comments because that's not true, but it keeps getting comments more than I thought it would. Let's see if we can. This right here, it's the upgrading Floyd. What was it? Upgrading a Floyd Rose Special to a Godo Floyd system, and so in this video, of course, I'm not going to sit here and play this whole video. You can just go back on the channel and check it out if you're interested. But what I'm doing is of course, what it says, I'm taking off an old Floyd Rose Special off that Bumblebee tribute model that I built a couple years ago. And I'm putting a Godo on there. And the amount of people that tell me I'm doing stuff wrong is incredible. It's like, I can't believe people really lose their stuff on what I'm doing. And I was kind of like, y'all need to calm down, man. Y'all calm down. And one guy's telling me, that's not how you do it, and this, you need to do this and that. And look, man, I got my way of doing things. You got your way of doing things. And as long as you get to the point that you were going for, that resolution of success, that's all that matters, man. And all it is when you swap out a Floyd system, it's all about balance. That's it, and how you maintain that balance with the springs and the tension and everything else. And there's a lot of people, man, that I've heard of. I ain't gonna call nobody out, but they won't change the strings on their guitar because they have a Floyd system on it, and they don't know how to mess with it. If they take the strings off, try to put strings on, everything's out of whack. That's true. If you don't, some people say block off the trim system. I don't block nothing off. I put a piece of stiff cardboard underneath the trim where the long screw posts are. That you come out go into the little square post saddles. Anyway, underneath those long screw posts, I take the arm of the Floyd and kind of tilt it. Put a good sturdy piece of cardboard underneath there, and then let go, and it keeps that Floyd level. That's kind of my way of blocking it off. And I've been doing that method for years, and it's been fine. Some people that watch it, I think, I don't know, man. They get crazy with that stuff, with their comments. But anyway, that was that video. Let me see. Let me scroll down. That was the first video I put out on this channel, far as a vlog. I think it was on the 13th. Let's see here. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, the 18th. There it is, the 18th of January. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, that's all right. And it was fun to do. It was fun to make that video. I just figured that if it could help somebody, upgrade their own system, they could see how I do it, and it works great. There were some don't get me wrong, there were some kind comments on there where people were like, hey, thanks, man. I always wondered how to do this or that or whatever. And I'm no expert at none of that stuff, man. None of this. It's just stuff I've been tinkering around with over time. And that was, for me, I figured out what works for me, And that's, there you go. That's how you do it. Let's see, what else do I have here? Throughout this year, man, I was doing I did a couple of little documentary short films. I did Trucker. I did that. That was pretty cool. And then I did another one called The Player, which is, of course, about guitar playing and everything. And then I ventured out a few months back. I ventured out into the short story kind of realm, and I decided to do like a fictional story called Out of Time. And that was fun to do. So this year I was able to do a few of those. That was nice, and it's really hard to do stuff like that, man, when you're with the schedule I have with my job. But Trucker, I did the short film on that, if you want to call it that, and I was doing an actual series called Trucker. I think I did 2 seasons of that, and but there was a episode that I'll show some right here that I actually got to meet one of my great friends at the truck stop. His name's Ricky Hall. He's probably asleep right now, but I got to meet him at a truck stop on the way back from my run late one night, and he just happened to call me on the phone, and he's like, hey man, I'm at such and such area, and don't you come through here in a couple of minutes? I was like, yeah, I sure do, man. So here's we're going to play this right here where I meet my friend Ricky at the truck stop. This is actually in Florence, South Carolina, off of I-95. So let's see what we got. All right, we're at the Petro right here in Florence, South Carolina. It's about I don't know, about 12:30 at night, and we just got fueled up. And the reason I'm stopping here to get fuel is a good friend of mine is here getting fuel as well, and we're going to go to Color right now. And this is Slick Rick, Major Trucking. You see me interview him on my channel. This is his beautiful blue Pete right here. He pulled in to get some fuel. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Slick Rick, right there. What's going on, man? Oh, man.
How's everybody on the YouTube tonight?
Yeah, man, doing good. I interviewed Slick on the channel, as you may remember, and it's good to see you, man. I ain't seen you forever, man.
Especially on the road, man.
Yeah, I know. We see.
You got some milk?
No, I ain't got no. You don't want no.
I don't need it.
But Rick we used to work together at this company. He worked here, what, 6.5 years?
Yeah.
Something like that? Long time. And then he ventured out and became an owner-operator, and he always told me he was going to do it, and he did it, man. And he started off little baby steps, and then he said, phew, and he did it. So, and this is the fruits of his labor right here, this beautiful truck. Awesome truck.
But
Yeah.
And it will be at the Mayberry Truck Show this weekend in
yeah, he's entering his truck in a truck show this coming. Yeah. That was fun, man. We got to meet Slick Rick at the truck stop earlier this year. That was over the summer. And yeah, I talked to Rick a few nights ago. I didn't get to talk to him long, so I'm not quite sure. I guess he's still trucking. I'm sure he is. But so that was just a little snippet of part of my series called Trucker. That was fun to do. And then, like I said, I made 2 seasons of that this year, and it was cool, man. It's just I find myself, man, I get bored really easy with things, man. I try to do these, well, I don't try, I did the series and all that, and it was fun. But when you start finding yourself getting involved in stuff like that, man, you find yourself being more and more dedicated, and I'm like, okay, I got to put out an episode in a couple of days, and I got to get this together, and it gets just a little bit more tough as time goes by, but it's okay, man. It's all right, I still love making videos. I still love playing music. Doing this right here, just even though we're just doing a one-man kind of show here, because it's late, man. And I was looking on Facebook a while ago, and there's a lot of people that put on there, hey, y'all have Happy New Year. I'm going to bed, So, and I got to try to stay up a little bit tonight, because I'm gonna just end up being in bad shape if I go to bed too early and then get up at like 9 a.m. I got to stay up all day and then go in tomorrow night. That's not going to work. So I got to try to do the best I can to stay up. But let's see, what else, man? What else happened this past year? Got some more guitars. That's not a surprise, Got some guitars this year. I got the HeadRush Prime. That was a really cool upgrade. That was nice. I was introduced to plugins by Eventide from a friend of mine online on how to mess with that. That was cool this year when I learned how to do that. So anytime you find yourself getting better at whatever you love to do, whatever it is, music or sports or painting or poetry or whatever, as long as you find yourself getting a little bit better through time, then improving, that's the name of the game. And so yeah, what else, man? Yeah, I got a bunch of effects. I got a new tablet. So it's been a great year, man. It might have ended on a sour note with being sick, but that'll like I said, that'll go away. It doesn't last long. I got a Mustang, got Sally. That was very nice, and for my wife and I to kind of scoot around town here and there. She really enjoys it too, and it's a beautiful ride. I've never had anything like that, so that was nice. Let's see what else. Just little additions, man. Little things. Little guitar stuff, man. Little tools and things that help. When I work on stuff to help the job easier, right? I have my friend, the German butcher, man. He came over yesterday, as a matter of fact, and he brought a guitar that he's had since he was about, I think his parents got it for him when he was like 17. And when you look at the headstock and all, it's shaped just like a Jackson and all that, but it says Charvel on it, right? We know it's all owned by the same company, but he's had that thing since he was 17. And sharp guitar, man, really nice. And so I don't know, I guess about some years back, probably quite a few years back, it got to where the electronics sounded really bad in it. Sounded really just off. So he just kept it hanging on the wall for the longest time. He took it to a guitar store, music store, I don't know exactly where, because I asked him the other day, and he said it was about 5 years ago. And they put in all new electronics and this and that, and he told me, he said, man, it still sounds like crap. It sounds real muddy. It doesn't sound like it's supposed to. So then, another thing I figured out this year on how to, upgrade my electronics in my guitars. And let's see, I'm always doing the wrong one. Right here, this PV Wolfgang special. If you're subbed to this channel, I had a lot of ups and downs with this guitar over the summer. I take it to a shop in town, and the guy would do this and that to it, and it just never was. It never was right. It just, I knew something just wasn't right with it. My ears don't deceive me that bad. So I found out how to, I just pulled all the electronics from it, and I put new pickups in it, all new wiring, everything. And I did that a few weeks ago. And now it's back from the dead. It sounds amazing. I put new pickups, everything, all new electronics, all new everything. And it's great now. So my buddy, the German Butcher, was having issues with his Charvel, right? And he was telling me about that. And I thought, that'd be a great Christmas present, man, if I could, could bring his guitar back from the dead, so to speak. So I ordered all the parts. And I told him, I said, look, man, if you can come over here, I'll fix your guitar for you. I'll take all those electronics out of it, and we'll toss them, and we'll put in all new stuff. He's like, for real? I was like, yeah. So he did. He came over, and I ordered all this stuff from Guitar Fetish, by the way. I've talked about them before on this channel, and it's good stuff, man. I was shocked at how good that stuff was. So he come over here and he brought his Charvel, and I started taking the back plates off, the cavities and stuff, and started snipping wires and taking the screws off the pickups and pulling all that stuff out, putting it to the side. And so his Charvel takes a humbucker and a single. That's what the pickup configuration is. And so that's what I ordered. And well, when he brought it over here, and the single coils, the way they're surrounded with the plastic base, it kind of, part of it kind of sticks out a little bit, so I couldn't get it to go all the way down into the single pickup cavity. The humbucker was no problem. I got that. It's no big deal. But the cavities for the single coils, the original pickups just went right down in there, and they had pickup covers on them, and it said Jackson on the covers. So this, I was like, I took those off, took them out, and on the new ones, I had to take my Dremel tool and route out the pickup cavities a little bit. Had to route them out a little and shave a little bit off the plastic binding on the side of the new pickups, and then they drop down in there. And got everything hooked up. I went ahead and set it up for him, and intonated everything. He had some little screws on there on his Floyd. It was a Jackson branded Floyd, you know what I mean? And I had to replace some of the screws on the saddles because they were just old and rusted, and none of that stuff was intonated or set up or anything. So I went ahead and did all that and got all that new wiring in there, and got it all done and set up and everything, and I got this little Black Star Mini the Fly, the little battery, you know how they are, the small little battery powered amps, and I said, well, I'm going to check your pickups before we put the strings on. And he's like, well, so how you going to do that? And I said, I'll show you a trick. And after I get everything hooked up. So I hooked everything up, got the pickups in there, and you can take a screwdriver or an Allen wrench, and put your pickup selector switch down for that pickup, and you just tap that pickup, doop, 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 and you hear it coming through the little amp. You know that pickup's good. Move the switch, and so on and so forth with the other pickups. That way I knew that each pickup had a signal, right? I knew it was good. So then I went ahead and put the strings on and got his Floyd all set up for him and everything. Again, I didn't block the trim off like people said in that video. That I put the cardboard underneath the trim like I always do, and set it up. And I had to do a little of the two screws in the back with the bear claw. I had to adjust those a little here and there and get everything right. Got it all set up, did some chords, did the Floyd, come back, did it again. It was perfect, and I played to that little amp, and I said, I was telling him, I said, if it's going to sound good to this little Black Star Mini the Fly, if it's going to sound good there, it's going to sound good through your regular setup. We're just using this little battery powered amp to make sure we got signal. And it sounded great, man. It sounded good. He was like, yeah, that sounds great. He said it didn't sound like that before after those people supposedly rewired it, So when I took the electronics out that those other people did 5 years ago, whatever. You could look at the switch. The switch was plastic. It was crap, and the wiring was so thin. The wires were so thin, and so I was like, man, what kind of gauge wire is this? It was so thin. Larry Riker, what's up, man? Happy New Year to you too, sir. Everybody, Happy New Year. We're getting close, right? I don't want to miss the countdown. Let's see here. Let me look. Let me see I got a live countdown clock here that we're under the 30-minute mark, I believe. Let's see. I gotta try to fix this. I gotta adjust my font here again on my computer. There we go. Sorry. 29 minutes 35 seconds until we hit the new year. Wow, man. So it's not going to be long. We'll be in 2024. That does not seem feasible, does it? Not to me, it doesn't. But anyway, I got his Charvel all fixed up, and he's good to go. So that was good. That was a good feeling. I was glad I was able to fix it up for him, because I know what it's like to have a guitar and it don't sound right, and it's like, because that PV, like I said, that PV Wolfgang Special, it's a great playing guitar, man. I mean, when it's in my hands, I'm like, damn, that feels good. I know what a good guitar is supposed to feel like and perform and everything. I know. But when the electronics are messed up, it's all for nothing, you know. It's kind of like having a nice car in your driveway, but you can't drive it because the engine's blown or something, you know. But yeah, man. So we got them up and running now, which is all great. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some more talking guitars and more with Larry and Andrew and the German Butcher and my son Nathan, and whenever everybody gets settled from these holidays and all this good stuff, that's going to be fun to do. I always enjoy doing that. It's a fun thing to talk about guitars and everything else, man. It's, you know, what I love. And yeah, I'll tell you. Oh man, it makes me wonder. You know, this New Year's Eve thing going on here. We just have a handful of people in here, and that's fine. I get it. Can you just imagine all the people that's in New York in Times Square right now doing all that? There is no way you could catch me doing. I don't care. You couldn't pay me to go do that, man. There ain't no way in the world I'd want to do that. God Almighty. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let's see here. Let's see what. I'm trying to see how many. I got a bunch of videos stockpiled here on this. I was starting to use one thing I did try while I was out on vacation. I started to use Zoom a little bit. Does anybody else use Zoom? I was doing that a little bit, and to see if I would like it more than StreamYard. And all these platforms, man, they have some things that are better than others. It's really pretty much just all the same thing. So I said, well, I think I did a video about it on my channel. Yeah. And, but Zoom is cool, man, for kind of a one-on-one kind of deal. I like I said, I played some music on a live stream there. And it was okay, but StreamYard was actually better. Playing live music, you know. Now, I went back to my old mixer for this setup here, for this stream here, and it's all right. It's good for audio, but I tried playing some music. I was going to play some songs live on here, but I just don't like the way this setup sounds audio-wise. I can't get a decent sound out of it that I'm happy with. My setup that I want to use, I'm having issues on that particular DAW. I'm having issues with something called audio dropouts, and I can't put my finger on why that's happening. So I'll sit there and play for a little bit, and the audio it drops out. It just stops. Then it comes back, And I think it's something to do with the DAW, not the DAW, but my plugins. I think the research I'm doing, some of the plugins, I guess because they pull some kind of power or something. I don't know. And I looked up on how to try to resolve those dropout issues, and I followed what the guy said, and I'm still having those dropouts. So I'm like, we'll have to mess with it some more. I get more familiarized with it. I can't even fucking talk. More familiar with it. What? Larry, come on, man. What, are you for real about that? Damn. Man, that's crazy. Man. Huh. If that's true, that's even more of a reason for me not to. I wouldn't go to that. I'm not the kind of person to want to be in a big crowd of people. Larry says it is true. Wow. Man. God dang. I don't want to repeat that on here. But that's crazy. That's crazy. That man. Yeah, I used to go to a lot of concerts and all, man, when I was younger, and now I don't care. I think the last concert I went to, my wife and I went to see Greg Allman years ago at Cherokee. I think I don't remember, what was that, 2017? I don't know. I can't remember, but and I think about a year after that, I think it's close to a year after that, he passed. Yeah. So I got to see him. I never got to see the Allman Brothers band play, but I did get to see the voice of the Allman Brothers band, Greg Allman. And so that was cool. But that was like the last show I went to, man. My wife and I, that was it. We and I just don't care about going to any concerts. I don't know, man. You hit certain things in your life, I think, certain levels or whatever. I don't know. I just don't care about doing that no more. And plus the way that I work, it just, you don't have no time to, I don't have any time to do anything like that if I wanted to. But yeah, I've had my share of concerts, man. I can't complain. I've had my share. Ted Fair says, I'm with you. I can't stand traffic and the crowds. Yes, sir. Yeah, I can't. Traffic, especially for me, because I have to deal with that every night. Excuse me. And in the crowds, yeah. I don't know. People just seem to be more crazy nowadays too. I don't know. When before I left to go down to Somerville to meet my wife, I went out to eat with my mother, and we went to Applebee's in Easley, and that place was so crowded. Of course, everybody's out to eat, and because it was right before Christmas, people are shopping and doing this and that, and man, I was just like, oh my God. Went to Longhorn first, rode to that parking lot, and it was just, you couldn't even navigate through there. And I said, no, this ain't happening. So we went across the street. There was an Applebee's over there, and they were crowded too, but there was a couple of parking spots. So I think that's where I got this stuff from, man. I remember we got there. I dropped my mom off up front so she could just walk in, because she's to the age now where she don't need to be doing a lot of walking, and it's hard on her hips and her legs. And my mom's getting where she's moving a lot slower, man. She's not as mobile as she used to be, which that's going to happen to all of us eventually. But So I dropped her off up front, and I said, Mom, I'll go park. You go in there and put our name in the hat. She's like, okay. So I went on down into the parking lot down there, and parked, and I started walking back up toward the entrance of the restaurant. And I seen about, a handful of people coming in. And I got in there, and I didn't see my mom. I was kind of like, now, my mom don't move that fast. I was like, what? So, how you kind of looking over people's heads, you're kind of moving on your tiptoes and everything. And so I started cutting, walking up through, people are standing there, and they're looking at me like, is this guy trying to cut in line? What's he think he's doing, And I said, no, man, I'm meeting somebody here. And he's like, oh, okay, go ahead. Like, you can pass. So I get up to it, and I look over around the corner, and I see my mom sitting in the booth. She flagged me down. I said, man, that was quick. She goes, yeah, I just when I walked in, they had a booth available. Right time, right place, I guess. And so I went over and sat down. We ate, and it was great, man. It was, place was packed. But I remember there was a guy sitting behind me. You know how you sit in the booth, and you got the back of the booth kind of comes up right about your head, and it kind of separates you from the person behind you. And the whole time that guy sat there, this is all he did. So I'm thinking that's where I got this mess from. Even though he's pointing that way, still when stuff gets in there, it just goes wherever. So I'm assuming, if I had to put money on it, that's where I picked this mess up from. Because I left the next night to go to Somerville, and it was that next morning after that is when it hit me. So that, if you look at the timeline, that's right. It makes sense. Let's see. Larry Riker says, let me see if I can show this comment. I was in my local city today, which was busy, and a street performer was playing Tears in Heaven by Clapton on a PRS. It was good. Oh, that's nice, man. That's cool. Street performer. That's something that, that's something I hadn't seen in a long time. I'm trying to think, when's the last time I saw a street performer, or they call it a busker. I mean, when I first heard that word busker, I was like, what the hell does that mean? Busking, yeah. I have a feeling down here in our area, Larry, I have a feeling that they don't make nothing on that. I don't know, but I've seen people do it a few times. It's been a long time, but they weren't good. The people I saw, they weren't good, man. I was just like, oh my God. So I don't know, but I've seen a special on, I guess it's been over a year or so. There was a special I saw, a documentary about buskers, and it was really good. I was really shocked at the people that up north, in New York and all that, where people do all that on the subway lines and all that. And I've seen that was in the documentary, and they were really good. And I was like, wow, dang. The only thing that gets me is the guys that bang on those damn buckets, moving them buckets with their feet and all that. To me, that's just a lot of racket. I can't. That drives me crazy. I'm like, dude, get a set of drums, man. Damn. And just, I mean, I understand the point of what, but that drives me nuts. I'm like, oh my God. But I've seen, of course, on YouTube, I've seen this one guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know the channel, but he's in, it's got to be another country somewhere. He sits on top of his amp and he plays whatever, anything and everything. And the guy, he's a younger dude. I'd say he'd probably, I don't know, if I had to guess, he's probably in his mid-20s, I guess. And he's incredible, man. He can do all that Ingve stuff and everything. I wish I knew what his channel name was, but I don't. But he's an incredible street performer. I mean, he's on a whole nother level, man. I was like, dang, man. I think he sits on top of like a Line 6 amp or something, and he's got backing tracks loaded up somehow, and he's just jamming, and he's constantly adjusting the knobs on his amp. He'll play and he'll reach down and he'll adjust and adjust. And I'm like, dude, you got it? But he can play, man. He can throw down, boy. Yeah, he's incredible, man. I'll never be on that level. I just give me some classic rock tunes and and 70s and 80s stuff, and I'm happy. Oh my God. Let's see. Larry makes another comment. Mr. Larry Riker, he says, prior to Clapton, he was playing some Latin music, and tons of people were dancing. Usually people just walk by the street performers in town and don't do anything. Yeah. Well, that's good for him, man. That's awesome. You know, it takes a lot of nerve, man, to do something like that, to get out there by yourself and play some music, because you're putting yourself out there, man. You know, music is for me, it's a very personal thing, you know, and to share that with people, it's hard. It is for me. Other people, it might not matter, but to me, it's it's tough. You're exposing a part of yourself that you're kind of like, I don't know, man, if I want to do this or not. But I don't know. You just, and I got over that fear years and years and years and years ago, and I just started playing. And after that, I couldn't get enough of it. So Mr. Ted Fair, he says, it's almost as bad as someone playing an out-of-tune guitar at Guitar Center. There's some of them like that on these buskers, street performers. Yeah, there's some of them that are like that. Not all, and I'm not saying nothing rude about all of them as a whole. It's just there's been a couple I've seen that they were just not good, but there's been others I've seen that were fantastic. And but yeah, it's kind of like somebody that sings, right? They play the guitar and they sing. Now, it's one thing to have to learn how to play. That's a challenge in itself, just learning how to play, staying in time, changing chords. And then it's another thing to be able to sing on top of that while your hands are doing one thing and you're singing. It's kind of like doing the piano. Both hands are, that's why I'm not a piano player, because both hands are doing something completely different for the most part. And when I see somebody on an acoustic, and this is what I've always said, if you see somebody that's playing just an acoustic and just doing basic chords, but they can sing really well and everything they're doing, even though it's the most simple song, but it sounds amazing because they just have that talent. Just think how good it'd be if they were in a band, how elevated that performance is going to be with actual musicians that are there to back that person up. It's going to be incredible. So I think there's a lot of people, especially on YouTube, and social media, as a whole, that their ears aren't trained really well, and they don't know that, they shouldn't be doing that. They're like, whoa, come on now. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, but a lot of people out there believe in just being nice. That sounds great. I was taught if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So I just don't comment. I don't even watch the channel. I've just seen it in passing here and there on some channels. Actually, my buddy, the German Butcher, sent me a link yesterday. He said, here's this dude again, check him out. And I said, dude, I don't want to watch him. And I said, it's a train wreck, man. He goes, yeah, but I cannot stop watching him because it's such a train wreck. And I was like, well, go ahead. I said, but I just, that doesn't do anything for me. So teach his own, right? But yeah, and there's, look, I'm not saying, like Ted said, it's like playing an out-of-tune guitar at Guitar Center. We all have to start somewhere. And look, I'm still learning too on a lot of stuff. But the one thing to try to get trained up, if you can, fast as you can, is your ears, man. Once you get those trained up really well, once they get to a certain level, your ears won't lie to you, man. You'll be able to, like, whoa, man, I was scrolling on YouTube earlier. I was scrolling through there earlier, and there was a guy that had, he did some live stream. His background and everything, his music room looked amazing. Everything looked great. But his playing, his audio did not match up to what you were looking at. You know what I mean? It's like he wasn't running direct. He was just using the mic from his phone or whatever. His guitar was out of tune, and he's trying to talk and be charismatic, and it's like, nah, man, come on now. So that's just the way it is. I think YouTube, man, if they had different levels, all right, if they had like let's see, how can I say this? If they had a free level, like this right here, had a free level where you could get on here and you can upload whatever videos you want. It don't matter. Cooking, guitar playing, I don't know, working out, whatever. But you're not really looking for any kind of kickback. You're not looking for your videos to really do anything. You're just doing it for fun, right? I think that should be the free platform of YouTube. And then when you get, if you're a YouTube creator and you're taking this very seriously and you're putting a lot of money into your equipment and into your channel, and you look at it like a job, right? And you're really working hard on editing and everything else. I think there should be a paid level where you as a content creator have to pay Google so much a month to be able to have your channel. But in turn, you'll get a fair shot of monetization, and you'll get more of a chance of your channel to get recognized because you're paying a certain amount of money for that service. All right, and that doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but it's better than no guarantee at all. And the reason why I say YouTube should have two different platforms like that is it weeds out all the bull crap. It would weed out all the, because you can't get nothing on YouTube to be seen because there's so much bull crap that's in front of you that people throw up there that don't need to be up there. A bunch of stupid stuff. But if you had two different platforms like that, I think it would weed out some of that stuff. And then you could go to a third tier that costs you more money, but it's a lot more serious level. And I don't think YouTube would ever do that, but if they were to do that, it would really weed out all the bull crap. You'd get rid of all that, all those wannabes that just, that are just in your way. That's what I've always thought. But there's been people in the comment section that got pissed off at me because I said that. It's like, so, let me look at your channel. Look at their channel where they got nothing. So everybody wants something for nothing. Nobody wants to work for it, Everybody wants to be a superstar. And the fact of the matter is, doing videos and stuff on YouTube, man, is tough. It's tough. I do it. Yes, I do it just for fun. And it's still hard. For me, still tough. It's not an easy thing. Let's see. What are we looking like on our countdown here? Let's see. Should be getting close. Oh, we're getting really close. 6 minutes and 28 seconds. Ooh, boy. There we go, man. Man, yeah. Lordy me. Lordy me, Lordy me. I tell you. My goodness. What else is going on here? It's cold here tonight. I know that. We've got the water running in our faucets, man. The water, well, people say let the water drip. I let it stream. I don't let it drip. I let it stream. It's cold tonight, man, in South Carolina. So hopefully, I think it's supposed to be like this for the next couple of nights, and it's supposed to be in a little bit warmer, not as cold, not below freezing, I don't think, but but we'll see how it goes. What do you got? 5 minutes and 14 seconds. My God, till we get to 2024. Man, I remember when I was, God, the German Butcher and I, we were really young. We were rode our bikes down to the high school, which was always a no-no because that was a little ways down the road. Not real far, but it was out of the neighborhood. And you're on the main highway getting to the high school, but we would ride our bikes down there from time to time when our parents were at work. And I remember you go into the breezeway out there at the high school, and they had this, I don't know if it was a time capsule or they had something there, and it's like, we'll open in the year 2000 or something. And this was like the year I'm talking when we looked at this was like in 1985 or something. And we were like, 2000? I remember we looked at that placard that was in the concrete there. It was like, 2000? Hell, we'll be dead. I was like, I look back on that now, like, damn, what the hell was we thinking? Oh, man. Larry says it sounds like a war outside with all the fireworks going off. Yeah, man, that's how it is here, except here where I live, all the idiots out here, instead of shooting fireworks, they want to shoot their guns. They want to go out there and shoot their shotguns. And you know what's bad, man, is people that have pets. And we don't have any little dogs anymore. They've all passed on. But we have a cat, Harley the cat. But even when there's a storm outside, it scares the pets, man. And that's why I always hated about 4th of July and this right here, because it would always scare our pets so bad. They didn't know what all that noise was, and you try to keep them calm, and it was hard on them, man. But yeah, that's what it is out here. People want to go out and shoot their guns and everything. I'm sure that's going to be happening here in a minute. Actually, in about just over 3 minutes. A lot of crazy people out here. But, I've always been the type, man. You stay on your side of the fence, I'll stay on mine. There's a dude that lives right over here. Man. Every night, late at night, he gets out. I don't know if he works a third shift job or what. He gets out there and he starts his car. He's got this piece of crap car, and it's got a loud ass engine on it. And he just sits there, and all you hear is, you hear that for like an hour, and then he'll take off and go down the road wherever the hell he's going. And this guy's probably, I don't know, early 60s, I say, if I had to guess. I've seen Greenville County over there so many times at his place, but they never take him to jail. I guess he's just too slick. I've never talked to the guy or nothing like that, but man, he's always got something, engine revving over there when I'm trying to go to sleep. I just want to walk over here and like, dude, cut that damn car off. Man, people are trying to sleep out here. Sound travels out here, man, because it's just out in the open. But anyway, again, he stays on his side of the fence. I stay on mine. And that's it, Let's see. Mr. Ted Fair, he says, I crank the Van Halen for my dogs, and it seems to chill them out. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's cool. That's great. Oh, man. We're getting there. Almost there. 1 minute and 25 seconds until the new year. Wow. Oh my gosh. Man. Well, another year is closing out, y'all. 2023. I hope everybody's had a great 2023. And I hope everybody has a wonderful 2024, man. I wish everybody good health and prosperity and all that great stuff, man. Everything that goes with it. I really do. I really, really do. Life is short, man. Life is so short. My father's been gone now for over 3 years, and it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it at all, man. So be thankful for what you have, including me. Love your family. And, tell them you love them. Your kids, your animals, everything. Because it can be taken away like that. And, that'll be it. So, all right. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the new year, everybody. That's it. Happy New Year. All right. 2024 is here. Well, y'all stuck around to watch me bore you for an hour. But, like I said, I never done one of these by myself, so now I can say I have, right? Thank you, everybody. God bless. Happy New Year. All right? I'll see you next time around. Take care. Bye-bye.
She came in and sat down right in front of me. She picked up a glass of wine as I took